This conference will now be recorded.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Now, for example, two developers wants to access the same rule. Okay, two developers wants to access the same rule. So in that case, how you can give the permission? So if two people works at the same time, what happens? Okay, if two people access the rule at the same time, what will happen? Let's see. For example, so do I have multiple operators for this application? For this HDFC application, do we have multiple operators? Initially, we created the application, right, through the wizard. Do you remember how to create the application?
Yeah. We can have multiple operators.
Exactly. So through the new application, we have created the application for HDFC and even for SBI also we created. So at that time, how many operators we created? We created only one operator, right? Admin at hdfc.com. Like that, I created only one operator. Okay. So in case if multiple operators are accessing the application, and if both the people wants to access the rule, or if both the people wants to modify the rule, okay. So what happens? So if they modify, so will it going to affect the changes? So whose changes are going to be available? Whose changes are not going to be available? So that we will see once. So before that, as I said, first of all, I would like to have one more operator. Okay, so how we can create the operator? We can go to the records and then organization and then operator ID. So, okay, here admin at hdfc.com. Okay, along with that manager at hdfc.com is there, but actually it will not be there. I just created it actually. So if you see for SBI, only one is there. For Prestige, for JPMG. So initially it's created only one operator. Okay, in case if you want to have multiple operator, okay, either you can do the save as of the existing operator. Okay, you can do the save as. So if you want to save as, first to open that operator. Okay, once after opening that, okay, how we can do save as? Here we have save as option. Okay, so developer 1. Okay, developer 1 at admin.com. Okay, otherwise we can have, sorry, instead of the admin, we need to give hdfc.com. Okay, so generally in the organizations, they'll be creating the operators based on our name, like Satish at hdfc.com. Okay, so or else Rama at hdfc.com or Madhu at hdfc.com. Like that, the people will be creating. So for our understanding, I am creating developer1 at hdfc.com. Create and open. Okay, so if you want, you can use all this information. Like that. Okay, this is email, but actually the operator ID for Pega is this one. I hope everyone remember. The ID is the name of the rule. Okay, the name of the rule. So and it is under the HDFC insurance rule set. Okay, and then we can select the access group and application as well. Access group and application as well. Then save it. Okay. Now if you want to have one more operator, do the same thing. Save as. Okay. Developer 2. Developer 2. Okay. So if you want to change the name, you can change these details. Okay, the same application, both the people wants to access it. Save it. Okay, now I created two operators and both the operators will be referring to the HDFC insurance implementation application. So you can see all these operators whether they created or not. Go to the operator ID list and then refresh it. See here, now we got developer 1 and developer 2. Okay, so now let me log in with the developer 1 first. So what is the password? I did not give any password.
Same as previous operator.
Okay, not exactly.
Same as
By default it will take rules as a password. RULES, rules will be taken as a password by default. Okay, so now this is which operator? How can we know which operator I logged in? In case if you forgot it, which operator it belongs? How can we know that? Here, this is the operator ID. Okay, this is the operator ID. Okay, here also we can see that, okay, which operator it belongs. This is the developer 1. Okay, this is the developer 1, like this. Okay, so here it is the operator ID. So if you click on that, okay, if you select operator, you can see that operator. Otherwise, you can see profile also. Okay, under the profile also, it will show you the information about your operator, your access group, the complete information about your operator. So the ID, the position, okay, the name which you have given, and the organization, division, unit which it belongs. Okay, so like this, skills, rating, and the application access group name. So what and all you have given for this operator, it will be displayed here. Okay, and even the roles and the rule sets which it is referring to, and the application rule sets. Okay, so these are the Pega default rule sets which will come automatically. On top of that, you will be having your HDFC framework rule sets. On top of that, your implementation rule sets. Okay, so like this, we can see the complete information about the operator by going to the operator ID and then profile. Okay, so if you want to see your operator ID information, you can select operator and then you can see it here. Okay, so actually why we have come here? Why? Because if multiple operators wants to access the application, what happens? Section 1. Okay, under the section 1, for example, okay, let me take something called customer home address or personal details. Okay, under the customer personal details, okay, so I would like to add some value here, like I'm taking some label. Okay, so and that under the label I am giving given by developer 1. Okay, this text is given by developer 1. Okay, so but I am not able to save it here. Why I am not able to save it here? Can someone tell me why I am not able to save here? There is no save button. Why? Because this rule set is logged. Yesterday we have logged 010101 version and even there is no delete option. Okay, as I said, once if you log the rule set, you can only open and see that. Okay, but you cannot save it. You cannot do any changes into that. So if you wanted to save the changes, what you have to do? You have to save as into the next version, that is 010102. You see here. The rule set name is same, the label is same, context is same, class is same, rule set also same, but only version is the higher version. We don't have 010101. So like that, once if the application is moved to the next environments, we will be creating on the next version. Create and open. Okay. Now you got the save button. Okay, so my changes like this text is given by developer 1. Now you save it. Okay. Now you save it. And after that, if you run the flow, process, flow, customer details, okay, and then actions, run. See here. Okay, the text is given by developer 1, like that you are getting. Okay, now let me delete it again. Where is the delete option? This is the delete. Okay, what is the difference between delete item here and delete here? What is the difference?
Here selected property will be deleted.
Exactly. And here?
There, yeah, the section of page we can entirely it will delete.
Exactly. This complete rule will be deleted. Okay, from this rule set version, the complete rule will be deleted. It will no longer available. Okay, so I just wanted to delete this text, delete it, and then save it. Okay, so here through Chrome, I have logged in as a developer 1. Now through the Internet Explorer, let me log in as a developer 2. Okay, so now this is developer 2. So in the Chrome, I logged in as a developer 1. This is the developer 1 operator. Okay, so in the Chrome it is a developer 1. In the Internet Explorer, I logged in as a operator, that is developer 2. Okay, so here in the application, user interface section. So what is the section I have opened from the developer 1? Customer details section. Sorry. Personal details section. Okay, here also personal details section. I'm opening. Okay. So that means now this rule is opened by 2 people. Right? Now this rule is opened by 2 persons. Okay. So now the developer 2 want to add some text. Label. And just for the example sake, I am giving the label. But the developer 2 may be adding anything. Okay. Now remove the sample text. Developer 2. Submit. Okay. And then save it. Okay. Developer 2 has given the text like this. Okay. Now go to developer 1. Okay. He also already opened it. Now go to basics and then label. Okay. One. Okay, previously developer 2, now it is developer 1. Submit. Now save it. Okay, so is it saved by developer 2 also? right? Now saved by developer 1 also, right? So now both the people did some changes and they both saved the rule. Now when you run the flow, okay, so for the developer 1, what it is showing, this text given by developer 1. Okay, now let's run the flow from the developer 2 as well. Okay, so for the developer 2, process flow, customer details, okay, opened it. Now actions, run. So you should display what? For the developer 2, it should display developer 2, but it is displaying developer 1. See, this is the developer 2 operator ID, right? This is the developer 2 operator ID. Okay, but for the developer 2 also it is showing developer 1 instead of the developer 2. Why is so?
The latest one is getting saved.
Exactly. So first developer 2 saved, but after that developer 1 saved this section with his changes. So it has overridden. Okay, it has overridden. So the developer 2 changes has gone and the newly saved changes done by developer 1 has been saved. So even when the developer 2 runs, still he could see that developer 1 changes. The reason is because of they are the latest changes. Okay, who recently saved the record, those changes will be there. Okay, those changes will be there. So then how can you resolve this issue? The developer 2 is wondering, okay, what happened to my changes? So here it's just a label. So no problem. He can re-enter it again. But in case if there is a lot of properties he placed on the section, okay, if he did lot of changes on the section, then what happens? It is like a lot of rework. So what we have the functionality here to resolve this issue is something called check-in and checkout. Okay, we have something called check-in and checkout. So what is this check-in and checkout? Okay, check-in and checkout means who opens the records first and who wants to do the changes on any of the rule, like whether it is a section, otherwise flow, or any rule. Okay, if he wanted to do the changes, the operator, otherwise the developer, will be doing the checkout. Okay, like Satish and Upendra wants to work on the same rule at the same time. But first Satish has opened the rule and then he did the checkout. Okay, so once the Satish did the checkout, Upendra cannot do the changes on it. It will give the message to the Upendra saying this rule is already checked out. Okay, so please wait like that. So once the Satish made the changes, he will do the check-in. Okay, check-in means his changes he committed to the database. So after that, Upendra can open the rule again. Okay, with Satish changes, on top of Satish changes, Upendra can do the changes. Okay, so let me see how exactly it works. So first of all, how you can add this check-in checkout functionality? How you can do means, first of all, you need to go to the rule set. So what is the rule set on which we are going to work? So to go to the rule set again, there are various ways I told you. So what are the ways I told you? One thing is on the rule itself. Okay, you can select the RS rule set. You can go like this. You can go to the rule set like this. Okay. The second way is what? From the records explorer. Okay, from the sysadmin category. Okay, from the sysadmin category, you will be having something called rule set. Okay, under the rule set, we can see all the rest of the rule sets. Okay, and the third way is open the application. Okay, open your application definition. Okay, under the application definition also, we can see the list of the rule sets. Okay, these are the application rules. So ours is what? HDFC insurance implementation. See, the same thing is going to happen. Okay, so there are various ways to open the rule sets. Not only the rule set, anything if you want to open, there are various ways. Okay, just to remember, okay, all these things. Now what? After opening the rule set, you need to go to the security tab. Okay, so under the security tab, you have something called checkout. Okay, use checkout. Okay, just select this checkbox, use checkout, and then save it. Now this rule set will be having the check-in and check-out functionality. Okay, so how we can do this check-in and check-out? How means, okay, after opening any of the rule, okay, so right now we have only save option here, save as option, right? Even for the section, so what is our section name which we did? Customer personal details. Okay, this is also having save as, delete, or from the actions we have some other options. Okay, but along with these three buttons, okay, okay, we will be seeing here check-in and check-out option. So when we can see, right now I have applied this option under the rule set. After that, what you need to do is you have to re-login it. Okay, log off. Re-login. Now open the section which you want to do the modifications. See, do you find any difference? Yes, we have checkout option. So earlier we had only these three. Now we have checkout option also. So not only for the developer 2, okay, this is the developer 2 operator ID. Let's see from the developer 1. Okay, so also let me re-login. So once after you re-login, if you open any rule, even for the developer 1 also it is showing checkout. In the same way for the developer 2 also it is showing. Okay. So now the developer 1 has selected checkout. So first person developer 1 has did the checkout option. Okay. After the developer 1 did the checkout. Now go to the developer 2. If he tries to do the checkout, see, he is getting the error message. Can someone go on mute, please? Okay. So like this, the developer 2 cannot do the changes. It is giving the checkout failed, original record already logged by developer 1 at hdfc.com. On date and time also it is giving. Okay. So now if the developer 1 did the changes, okay, this text is given by Okay, Satish, and then submit, and then save it. So just if you save it, it will not be available to the developer 2. What you have to do? After you did all your changes, you have to do the check-in. Then only it will be available to the developer 2. Okay, let's see in case whether it is available. I did just to save. Okay, check out. Still I am having the same thing. Okay, now let me do the check-in. So when you are doing the check-in, so you should give clearly, you should mention what are the changes you have done, so that it the other person, when he opens the rules, he will be understanding what this person has done. So you should give very clear comments. I included. Okay, all right, you need not specify I at least. Okay, included the label with the text given by Satish. Okay, otherwise if you add some functionality, like if you add any other property, okay, you can specify that. Okay, like included, okay, customer salary property. So like that you should clearly mention what are the changes you have done after you did the checkout. Then select check-in. Okay, yes, he did the changes. Now go to the developer 2. Okay, so now if you select checkout, see, once after you did the checkout, okay, now refresh it. Given by Satish. Yeah, now you got it. So actually it's having some cache. Cache means the some temporary memory. Okay, so 2 minutes. Okay, if you need to wait minimum 1 minute or something like that. Okay, so you need to close it, and if you reopen it, then you will be seeing his changes. Okay, now we will be seeing the developer 1 changes. So what's the developer 1 did? The text given by Satish. This is the change he has done. Okay, so even in case if you are not clear what the developer 1 has done, so you can go to the history tab. In the history tab, okay, so you will be having something called view full history. Okay, if you select this view full history, then you can see the comments given by developer 1. See, included the label with the text given by Satish. Okay, included customer salary property. So likewise, so he will be clearly specifying that what are the changes he has done. Okay, like that. Clear, right, everybody? So once when the operator is performing any changes through checkout, other operator cannot do the changes. Okay, once after you did the check-in, then this rule is available for the other operator. Okay, he can do the checkout now. He can also add the changes. So he can do the checkout. Okay, once after you have done the checkout, then it is available for the developer 2 also to do the modifications. So now this guy also can add one more label, okay, on top of it. Okay, earlier he was not able to see his changes. Okay, so he also can give that. Yeah. Now both the person changes will be there. He can do the save. Okay. And after that, he can do the check-in. Okay. While giving the check-in, he need to give the comments. Okay. Like that. Once if you check in again, checkout button will be available. Okay. Once if you check out, it will be changes to the check-in. Okay. So now let's open it again from the developer one and let's see what happens. See. Now both the tests are available. Okay, both the tests are available. So this is the way we can use a check-in and checkout feature. So first of all, where we can enable this check-in checkout functionality, we can give it from the rule set, right? We can give it from the rule set. So you can directly open from here. Okay, under the rule set, under the security category, okay, you can have something called use checkout. Okay, so once if you enable this checkbox and if you save it, then this functionality will be available. So this can be like a check-in and checkout. Okay, clear or any doubts?
Clear.
Nice. Okay, so under the rule set, okay, we'll be having the multiple versions and then we can have the check-in and checkout functionality. So for example, in the flow, I want to do some changes. Okay, so if you want to do any changes in the flow, now can I do it or not? Here you need to remember two things. Okay, in the flow now, if I want to do any changes, you have to remember two things. So what are the two things? You tell me. First, now what should I do? Tell me. So I have already shown you today only, not even in the previous class. So if I want to make the changes now, what should I do in this rule? Can I simply add the changes? Or before that, do I need to do something?
Rule set we need to implement check-in and checkout.
That's already I did it, right?
Yes,
So once that, yeah, that is fine. So
yeah.
that is done. So that is available. Okay. I need to do save as first. Why should I do save as? Why? Because this is the old one, which was there in the 010101. Now I need to save as to the 010102. So you see 010102, create and save, create and open. So once if you save it to the 010102, from next time onwards, you can use it. Okay, you need not do the save as. Okay, after locking, if you want to open the same rule from the logged version, okay, then you need to do the save as. Okay, yes. Now I got the save as. And then by default, it will be in the checked out mode for the first operator. Okay, you can do the changes, whatever you want to do. Okay, so like after doing the changes, save it and then check in. Likewise. Now if the developer too wants to do the changes on the customer details, he can change it or he need to save as again. This is done by the developer 1. So if the developer 2 wants to do the changes in the customer details, so is this person, developer 2, also need to do the save as or not required?
Not required, as developer one already did that.
Exactly. So developer 1 already saved this rule under the 010102. So developer 2 is not required to save as it. What he can do, he can directly do the checkout and then he can do the changes. Let's see. So this customer details flow, when you select it, okay, see this time I am opening from where? From recents. So what happened? Is it opened? It's opening 010101, not 010102. Why is that? Any idea?
Cache problem or
No, it's not a cache problem this time. Why? Because in the recents, the rule which I opened is, okay, this flow is from 010101 only. That is the reason why it is opening the same thing. So if you want to have the correct thing, see, I'm trying to show you all the scenarios. What all are the possible issues would be there? How exactly you can resolve. See, but from the flow category, if you open it, see, it is opening the latest version. So now if you go to the recents, let me open this first. It's like a two rules now available. Okay, it's like a two rules, one on 010101 and the other one is on 010102. See, 010101 and 010102 both are available. Okay, so in the recents, what I have done is previously I have selected the 010101 version. See, okay, 010101 version I have opened it. So that is the reason why now if you select 010102, it will open that. So in the recents, when you are opening, you should be very careful, like, okay, which version of the rule you are opening. Okay, it's like two different rules it is having. Okay, but from the App Explorer, if you open it, okay, it will open always highest version. Okay, highest version is 010102. Even in the 010102 only your changes are there. But in the 010101, your changes are not there. See, the flow end shape is not there. Label for the end shape. Got it, guys? I hope clear.
yes.
So the rule, if you save on any of the version, that is like a different rule only. Okay, you will be seeing two different versions. Okay, that's it. So that's all about the check-in and check-out. Okay, and as I said that, okay, we will start with the activities now. Okay, we will start with the activities. So what is an activity? Okay, why do we need to go for activity? Okay, why do we need to go for activity? So generally, if you take any of the C or C++, okay, or Java or .NET, okay, or any other programming language, okay, we will be having something called functions, right? We will be having something called functions or methods. Okay, so what is that functions? Okay, what is that function? So we will be doing some kind of the business processing. Okay, like adding two values or else assigning the values to some other properties, or else multiplication, or else saving the data to the database, or else retrieving the data from the database. Okay, or else assigning the values to the text boxes, or else populating the values to the drop downs. So like that, any of the business functionality we can do through functions. Okay, that function is also called a method in Java or .NET, right? So in the same way, we have something called activity. So in the activity rule, okay, we can have all these functions for implementing the business logic. Okay, the business logic or the business process management. So all these things can be done through the activity. Okay, so let's see if there are any predefined Pega activities available and how exactly it will be there. Let's see. So generally, what is the activity category? The activity category is under the technical. Okay, once after you selected records, okay, if you expand the technical, you will be seeing the activity. See, so these are the various activities created by Pega. Okay, so in case if you want, you can reuse these activities based on your need, like this. Okay, so there are n number of activities available. So what are these activities? Let's see. And mostly I'll be trying to use the Chrome. Why? Because Chrome is faster than the Internet Explorer. So only in case if you want to access the multiple operators, then only you can go for the IE and again Chrome. Okay, why? Because in the Chrome you cannot access two operators. Okay, if you log in as a developer 2 in some other tab, okay, if you open some other tab in the Chrome and if you log in as a developer 2, what happens, you know, automatically the developer 1 login will be closed. It will be logged off. Okay, so that is the reason why. Okay, in case if you want to access by the multiple operators, you need to go for the different browser. Okay, like Internet Explorer Developer 1 and Chrome Developer 2, something like that. Okay, yeah, now in the Chrome, so in the records technical activity, I'm seeing various activities. Okay, let me open any of the activity name, like add new operator. As I said, okay, in Pega everything is like a form based, so we will not be writing the lengthy of code. Okay, lines and lines of the code we will not be writing. Then how you can achieve the business functionality? Means, okay, so Pega already implemented that functionality and they have given this kind of the user interface for us. Okay, through this user interface only we can do everything. Okay, through this user interface only we can do everything. Okay, internally again our form based programming will be converted to the Java code. So you need not write it, so automatically it is going to compile and give the Java code for that. Okay, so this is the activity, and as you all know that, okay, so this is just the label of the activity. Okay, and then the class on which it has having. So this activity is under the data admin operator ID, and this is the name of the activity, add new operator, and this is the rule set. Okay, Pega WB. So this is created by Pega, right? So the Pega also having its own rule sets like Pega WB. So under the Pega WB, they have created this activity. Okay, and later this is the activity rule. Okay, under this rule, as I said, okay, we have various methods like page new, page set message, page copy, okay, property set. Okay, and even in case if you want to write Java, as I said, 99% we will not do any Java coding. In case if you need to write Java code, then you can write the Java code like this. Okay, and then show HTML. So these are the various methods. So, and these are the steps. So the total I have 7 steps. Step 1, step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in the step 1, I'm using the function that is called a method page new. Page set message, page copy, property set, Java, show HTML. So likewise, various methods available. So you can reuse it. Not only these methods, you can see lot of methods. Okay, these are the few of the methods which they have used for their functionality need. So in the same way, while implementing the functionality, you will also use the methods given by Pega. So if you want to see the methods, as we know, this symbol indicates it's a autocomplete. Okay, you can press the down arrow. You can see all the list of the methods available by the Pega. See, these all are the methods available. There are n number of methods: call, branch, collect, Java code, queue, activity, clear status, end. Okay, activity set status, data transform, as any. Okay, so likewise, so many are there. Okay, so based on the need, we will be using these methods. Okay, and after that, so what exactly are these options? So the first one is the serial number kind of the thing, step number, and then the label. Okay, sometimes what happens, if you want to identify this step, you can identify through the label. Okay, you can identify through the label. Otherwise, and I hope everybody knows that even in C++ also we will be having some comments. Comments means that is not a executable code. Okay, that is not a executable code. That is just a information to the user kind of the thing. Otherwise, if you don't want to run this, then also we can do the comment. So 2 slashes indicates it's going to comment it. So even though you have this step in the activity, it will not execute. Okay, so if required, I can do the uncomment. Then this will be worked. If you give 2 slashes, it will be like a comment. Okay, so how you can open some other also, any other. See, this is also one more activity. Okay, in that activity, these people has given the label as NF or F. Okay, so what is the purpose of having these labels? Means sometimes based on the condition, I want to go to that step. So here jump is there. Okay, so what is this jump? Here they are applying some condition, and based on the condition, they want to jump to the later step F. Okay, they have given some condition. Okay, if it is equal to true, they want to jump to the F. Means from second step, okay, it will go to the 7th step. Okay, from second step, it will go to the 7th step where F is there. Through the F, they are going to identify it. Okay, sometimes they would be jumping to the 5th step. So to identify this particular step, we can use the label. Okay, but here one more thing. You can go to the later step. That means from the second step, you can come to the 5th step or 7th step. But from the 7th step, you cannot go to the previous step. You cannot go to the 5th step. Only forward is possible. We can go move forward, but the backward is not possible. We cannot come back to the previous step. Remember, this is one of the important point for the interview. Okay, they will be asking in the activity, can we jump to the previous step? Can we jump to the previous step? Means from the 7th step to the 5th step, or else from the 5th step to the 1st step, can we go? No. Even though you give the label, okay, like S1 I have given the label, but still you cannot come to the previous step. Okay, you cannot come to the previous step. So in the activity, you can only jump to the next step. Okay, like that. So after the label, you have something called loop and when. So when means again checking the condition. Again, based on the condition, jump to the next step. See here. Okay, if this when rule applied, if this when rule is true, if this true, continue to the whens. Okay, if it is false, skip a step. Okay, so we will be learning all these things. So when rule we will be referring. We know, right, how to create the when rule. So when rule is mainly for doing some kind of the validation, some kind of the checking. Okay, so if this condition true, okay, if this condition is true, what you want to do? Okay, true param. If this condition is false, what you want to do? And false param. Okay, false param. Like this. Okay, so after the when rule, then we will be having something called method. So this method is the function which is created by Pega. So those methods we can use it. And then step page. So what is a step page? Step page means it is like a page on which you are going to set the values, or else the page from where you want to retrieve the values. Okay, or else from the page from where you wanted to save to the database. Okay, so mainly on the step page only it is going to perform the functionality. Okay, and later this is the description. Okay, description is nothing but a comment about this particular step. What you are doing in this step will be given here. So just the exact expand property set. Okay, here this step I am expanding property set. I just wanted to see what they have done in this function. So if you press this arrow, that is called a expand. Now we will be able to see it. Okay, so they are assigning some value in one of the property. Okay, B only work basket. This is one of the property name you see here. Okay, in this property we are setting the value to true. Okay, we are setting the value to true. Okay, so like that, this is the property set method we are using to assign some values. Okay, so like that there are various, okay, there are various methods available. Here somebody has written the Java step. Okay, so in this they will be writing the Java code.
So most of the times we use Pega provided default activities, or we can create new activities also.
No, Pega provided default activities we will be using very rare. That means
Okay.
if there is a possibility of using that functionality, we will be using it. Okay, but
Okay.
mostly we will be creating our own activities. Okay, but we will be using Pega defined methods. Always we use the Pega defined method. We will not be use the Java method.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
1% we will be using Pega activities. 99% we will be creating our own activities.
Okay.
And 99% we will be using Pega methods, but only 1% we will be using the Java methods.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, got it right?
Yes.
Method
Yes.
activity. So these are the activities created by Pega. Okay, so these we will be using only 1%. And in the activity we will be using the methods. So these methods 99% will be using the Pega methods. Only 1% will be using the Java method. Clear, right? Okay, so that is the thing. And next, even in this activity also, generally history tab will be there. In the history tab, okay, we must give description and usage. Okay, so then only the other developers will be understanding by seeing this description why exactly this activity has been created and where exactly we are using this one. Okay, and after that there are again 4 other tabs available. In this we will be using parameters and pages. Okay, mostly, and the security not much, and test cases we will not use at all. So under the parameters, why will we be using the parameters means, as you know, for the functions we will be passing the parameters like input parameters and output parameters, right? So in case add function is there, okay, so we have something called function add, okay, with int a comma int b. Okay, and here we will be doing the calculation like c equal to a plus b. Okay, and then println c. Okay, like this we will be doing, right? That means the add is the function, it has 2 parameters, and then we are doing the addition. So in the same way here also, okay, we can specify the parameters, okay, which you wanted to pass to this activity. Okay, see here there are various parameters available. Okay, so based on the need you can have your own properties also, your own parameters also. And here again we have something called local variables also. So what is this local variable? Class C1. Okay, under this, okay, here int total. Okay, into total, and here we have something called, okay, into C. Okay. Here, if you take total is a property which is like a global. Okay, total is a property which is like a global. And we have C. C also there is a property which is like a local. So why it like why it is? That means this total property is available for the complete class, but the C is available only within the add function, right? So in the same way here also we have something called local variables which can be accessed only within this activity. In case if you declare any property like A1 which is like a integer. Okay, A1 is a property name and the description if you want you can give, and then the data type it is integer. So this A1 is accessible only within this activity. But whereas the parameters which you are giving here, like this message underscore password or something like that, or else you can give your own param1 like that. So these parameters are available, okay, globally. Okay, means not only in this activity, you can access from the another activity as well. Okay, got it, right? These are the parameters. Clear? Parameters
Yes.
and local variables. Parameters means the properties which you can access from other activity as well. Local variables means the property which is accessible only within this activity. So you can use these parameters and properties from here. Okay, you can access this from here. Okay, like this. Local dot A1, the property which I have specified under the parameters tab. This A1, you can access it. Okay, guys. Tomorrow exactly we will be creating our own activity and populating the data into the user interface sections and everywhere.
Okay.
Any questions on it? If no questions, yeah, we can close it. Okay, we'll meet again at 8:30 tomorrow AM.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Have a good day.
You too.